Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 11th. This is going to be part one. I don't know why it's doing this, but anyway, I'll fix it in a minute. But anyway, Taurus, this is going to be your reading for the week of April 11th. And we're just going to jump right in here, as always, and see what is going on for you at this time. There will be a part two, and it will be linked up in the description down below. So let's see what we have going on for you. Looks like an amazing week so far. I don't want to speak too soon, but that Five of Cups came up in reverse. I don't read reversals, but it did come up in reverse, so we'll think about that. The only thing that can stop you this week is you here, Taurus. I feel like I said that to you last week, and we see that here again. Just real quick, down and dirty Chris's crappy tarot. This right here, to me, is a lot of momentum. 10 of Pentacles to the Star, and then you hit the Five of Pentacles. One of my favorite people of all time, Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, she, whether you believe in it or not, it's fine, right? I don't think we have to believe in the law of attraction for it to work. I think that even if you don't believe in it, right, that just being positive for the most part helps, can help improve your life. So to me, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, right? But what she talks about is when we try to manifest something big, 10 of Pentacles, which you have right here. 10 of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. It's like we build a lot of momentum when we think about big things. It's actually easier to attract something that's big. Why? Because when you think about like wanting, $10 million instead of $1 million, there's a lot more you can do with $10 million. So it's like much more exciting. And you can get much more excited about it. But then the Five of Pentacles here is, the big problem. It's like when we manifest something big, it's actually easier to manifest, but the reason people don't manifest big things is because usually there are big things that, there's like big resistance, as she says, to manifesting something big. And that's how I see this Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups in your last row, is it's kind of like, the big resistance, right? It's like when you think about manifesting $10 million, if that's what you want, it's like that would maybe require a lot of hard work. It's like, so you start making things harder when you start thinking about manifesting something big, even though it's easier to manifest, right? And so the trick is to talk small, but in a good way, to talk about how easy it is to get what you want. And even the reason I'm babbling on about this is because of this right here. Your first card is this Cancer card, and it says immerse on it. To be immersed in something is to bathe in an energy, and the Nine of Cups has been coming up like crazy over the past few weeks. You don't have it here because I'm trying to make a point. Again, the universe will never lets Chris make a point. But what I would say is that the Nine of Cups is about immersing yourself in an energy, bathing in an energy, and kind of like really soaking it up. And that's what I feel like you need to do here. Whatever your impossible dream is, 10 of Pentacles, or it doesn't even have to be impossible, just maybe it's like a relationship. Wherever you're experiencing limiting self-talk, I feel like that's what you have the opportunity to work towards this week. But again, I feel like you have to get over the Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, which is all like the creeping thoughts, all the negative self-talk, all that stuff. So that's probably what we're going to talk about here. You have the 10 of Pentacles, the Temperance card, and the World card. Again, like I said, the 10 of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. It is the tree of life. It forms a tree of life here. It represents an inheritance. It represents building something permanent, building or leaving a legacy. This could be anything. It could be you building a family. It could be you, building up something else as well, like a business or something along those lines, or building something permanent success in your life. As I've said to you a million times in the past, I'm going to say a million more times, Uranus in your sign literally is all about freedom for you here, Taurus, whatever that word means for you, and being more free. Usually if we have more pentacles, we're more free, right? So I feel like you're very focused on freedom, as always. But I also feel that you're very much like dreaming about something. Even you have the Page of Swords here. The Page of Swords is like a card of curiosity, and he's looking over at the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel that's the Page of Swords in like old school card reading systems, like the Jack of Spades, for example, in the playing card reading system, which you could read as the same card, is called the Child. And the same thing in the Lenormand as well, right? The Jack of Spades is called the Child. And it's kind of like your inner child. And it's like there's something that's popping into my head. There's something that is kind of calling out to you that you desire to create in your life. The Temperance card, I do feel, is talking about kind of making it happen. But the Temperance card is about kind of massaging something into place, as I always say. That's how I look at Temperance energy. He's not really like forcing something to happen. He's almost using magic in a lot of ways because, he is a card of alchemy, turning one thing into another. And it kind of says like you could already transform like something that you have, and you could transform it into something else. What the hell am I talking about? Well, I believe that the people who are going to be successful in the future are going to be good curators. Even like I did an interview with Leo King like a year ago now, and I was I don't think I said it on his podcast. I think I said it on another person's podcast. I will try to remember to link their podcast down below, by the way. But in that podcast, another one that I did, I was talking about how I think that people who are going to be successful in the future are going to be really good at curating information, curating their skills, whatever that means. So what does that mean? It's like, well, what it could mean is like I'm about to start a podcast myself, and I'm going to be taking that podcast. I'm going to create a clips channel with it. I'm going to be cutting it up and putting it on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to be weaving it into other channels as well and all this other stuff, right? I'm doing work once, and I'm basically turning it into a bunch more work without having to do much at all. So that's what the Temperance card asks you to do. It says like you need to start thinking like, how can I take my skills? How can I take what I'm good at, especially financially, and how can I like duplicate myself without actually having to do much work at all? And again, you're gonna have to think for yourself on this one because I don't know exactly what you do. Even if you have a job, it's like there could be opportunities for you to do this, but again, it's going to take a little bit of brain power. In relationships, same thing. It's like about kind of realizing that we do need to put a lot of work into relationships, but it's like, what are the important things in your relationship? What does your, it's like sometimes I think we do things for our partner, but it's like, maybe it's not important to them. Like, I've been in relationships where, a person doesn't like receiving gifts. And it's like, but what do? I buy that person a gift. It's like, why? It's a waste of time, right? So it's like, when maybe they appreciate something else much more, it's like we can, build upon the romance. We can increase the romance in the relationship by focusing on like what the person actually likes, by communicating with them, instead of trying to do things like buy gifts for a person who doesn't like gifts in the first place, which, I've seen happen. I've done it. I've seen it happen in a lot of relationships where I think, people do things where it's like, it's nice. It's a nice gesture, don't get me wrong. But it's like, are you doing what's important? And I really feel the universe wants us to get focused right now. It's been coming up in all the readings that whatever you're doing, work, business, health, spirituality, being, kind of like the focused precision work is much more important than trying to do a billion different things, right? You have the World here as well. And again, this is probably why I think we're all entering into this new world. I talk about this a lot. And I don't think the new world is like, we're not going to necessarily notice the change, but I feel like things are changing very rapidly and the energy is changing. So that's probably why we have to kind of like focus at this time. Next, you have this butterfly, oh my God. This dragonfly spirit, and it says truth transcends illusion on it. The dragonfly is about kind of like, even in Teddy Andrews' book, Animal Speaks, he talks about dragonflies being like looking through a stained glass window. It's like you're not seeing the truth when you look through the wings of a butterfly, right? It's kind of like or a dragonfly. I keep wanting to say butterfly. Some of you could be going through a transformation, and you don't have any butterflies here in your reading yet. That could change when we clarify, but it's kind of like needing to focus on the truth, but also needing to make sure that you're not wearing rose-colored glasses. That's why I feel like we need to kind of like be very focused and work straight towards something at this time. And we need to make sure we're not adding, fluff onto the stuff that we're doing. I feel like we kind of need to get down to brass tacks, if that makes sense, and just kind of, do the work on whatever it is we're working on. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, Taurus. You have the Page of Swords, the Star, and the Death card. I feel like this Page of Swords, again, is kind of more like your inner child. I feel like the Page of Swords is saying that there's something that is intriguing to you with that Ten of Pentacles. It's like the Page of Swords, he's looking at that Ten of Pentacles, and it's a card of curiosity. I feel like being curious is the first step to, creating something great in your life. First, we become excited about an idea, and I feel like he's excited about an idea. Even your next card next to him is the Eight of Wands. I'll show you in a minute. And below him, you have the Star. It's like the Star is the inspiration, being inspired by something. The Eight of Wands is quick movement. So I feel that you need to move towards things that are inspiring to you, things that excite you, things that get you out of bed in the morning. The Star, she's pouring water onto the land here. To me, it's like the most important part of the card in general. To me, it's a card of kind of this part here is her her pouring the water onto land is basically saying, if something is possible for one person, it's possible for you. She's pouring the water into the pool of universal consciousness, and you can see the ripples going out in the pool here, Taurus. And it's kind of like when we get excited about something, when we start thinking about something like starting a new business or becoming more free, maybe you want to quit your job and start a gold mine or do something crazy. It's like, that's the first step. It sends the ripples out into the universe, and the universe is responding. I feel like the universe is responding to you in this reading. You have that Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like communication, but Eight of Wands was traditionally the arrows of love, which again, talking about Esther Hicks here, she would call it your rockets of desire, where you're telling the universe what you want and the universe is responding. And I feel like the universe is responding to you. There is going to be a change here. You can even see here that there's this like Pope-like figure right here. He looks like a priest, and he kind of represents a traditional belief or an old school belief that you have changing. So I feel a lot of you could be like changing your beliefs with the Death card, but this would be a good thing. Like again, like I said, I feel that the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles here is you needing to remove your limiting beliefs. At the end here, you have this Throne card. It says position of authority, and you have this bear. It says dangers, especially in money matters. I would pay attention to your finances for sure at this time, Taurus, but I kind of feel like that bear is more talking about like an overbearing energy, something that has been, kind of like, I don't want to say Ten of Wands energy, because I feel like it's more pressure. It's like when you think about a bear comes in and is like, kind of claws you, right? Puts a lot of pressure on you. So I don't know. I've never been attacked by a bear yet, but I feel like this is saying that you could be experiencing or feeling pressure financially. What I would say here is that because of this Eight of Wands, I feel like that pressure is a little bit of, resistance. You have the Eight of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. I feel like these two cards are connected. The Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. This guy here, he has a bell around his neck. And back in the day, lepers had to wear bells around their neck so people would know when they were coming down the street. And so it says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. It's actually a card of sanctuary as well. There's a church on the card itself, and it says there is a place of sanctuary. But really, I feel like what this is talking about is limiting beliefs. The Five of Cups is, he's focusing on what he doesn't have, again, when he has two cups behind him. So it's like both cards represent needing to focus on what you do have, not on what you don't have. But again, I think if you're thinking of, when we dream of something big, we create big resistance. And I feel like the important thing here is to take whatever you're thinking about or whatever you're desiring to have, and I feel like you need to talk about it in simple terms, like how easy it is to manifest something. I mean, just using the $10 million example, it's like if you want to manifest $10 million, people win $10 million all the time, right? So in the lottery. So it's possible to do it easy. Does that mean it's going to come that easily to you? No, but the point is that we want to take whatever we want to manifest, and we want to speak about it easily. And again, it's like, how many times do I talk about the comments where people are like, oh, I want love, but then they write a whole entire, basically essay about how people always cheat on them. I'm like, what's the story that you are telling right now? You're telling a story about how people cheat on you. Talk about how easily it is to be in a positive relationship, right? It's like, when you do that, when you focus on what you want, then you get it. So this is part one. Part two is linked up in the description down below.